20 years ago, I landed in the US with a suitcase, a head full of dreams, and a heart determined to succeed. My plan? Earn a degree, build a life, and maybe even live the American dream. Fast forward 2 decades, I'm a US citizen with a thriving career and enjoying the ultimate American luxury, a Costco membership. But here's the truth. The path to this so-called dream wasn't a smooth freeway. It was more like running through a field of thick, sticky mud. You know the kind. Every step feels like you are sinking deeper, and progress is measured in inches. Still, step by step, year by year, I kept moving. Over time, the mud thinned out, and eventually I found myself running freely. Looking back now, I realized what got me here wasn't a lucky break or some magic formula. It was consistent small investments of time, effort, and sheer stubbornness. Just like in finance, those investments compounded over time, changing my life in ways I couldn't have imagined. Let me take you on this journey, from zeros to breakthroughs, and show you what 20 years of persistence and investment can do. Year 0, starting from scratch or below zero. When I arrived, my life resembled a new bank account, full of possibilities but utterly empty. Cultural 0. I didn't know the norms, the jokes, or even how to properly navigate a four-way stop. Did you know you're supposed to remember who stopped first? Because I learned that the hard way, by playing accidental chicken with other drivers. Professional 0. My degree was in nutrition, but I wanted to study finance. Translation, I was starting over in a completely new field. Credit 0. No credit history, no network, and no idea how to get either. Every day was a crash course in survival. Take the time I drove into a one-way street the wrong way. I would like to say I handled it gracefully, but the truth is, I froze and prayed the officer wouldn't ask too many questions. Most people never leave their home country. According to the United Nations, less than 5% of the world's population lives outside their birthplace. Honestly, I get it. Starting over is uncomfortable. But growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens when you step into the unknowns, even if it means figuring out how to parallel park while sweating bullets. Year 5. Stuck in the mud. 5 years in, I finally had a finance degree and my first job as a credit analyst. I thought I made it until reality smacked me upside the head. The 2008 financial crisis hit. Opportunities dried up faster than my savings, and companies were laying off people left and right. Needing visa sponsorship felt like trying to navigate an impossible maze. Speaking English, my non-native language, was a daily mental marathon. I'll think in one language, translate to another, and hope my words didn't sound like a bad Google translation. To top it off, I was demoted when new management arrived. Yep, that happened. I felt like I was running through chest-deep mud while everyone else sprinted ahead. Some peers returned to thriving careers back home while my American classmates climbed corporate ladders with ease. Meanwhile, I was stuck wondering, do I stay and keep fighting or cut my losses and head back home? Progress is like melting ice. You can raise the temperature and it might seem like nothing is happening. But if I had given up then, I would never have known if I was just one push away from reaching the melting point. Year 10, finding solid ground. Around year 6, life threw me a curveball. An accounting role opened up. Not my dream job, but a step forward. I took it, and it changed everything. I learned everything from bookkeeping and financial reporting to data visualization and process automation. My analytical skills finally had a spotlight, even as I stumbled through public speaking, learning with every step. By the end of this chapter, I got my green card, a renewed sense of purpose, and mud that only came up to my knees. Progress. Sometimes the opportunities you least expect are the ones that propel you forward. My first breakthrough didn't entirely come from luck, but also from saying yes to something outside my comfort zone. Year 15, picking up speed. 15 years in, the gears started turning. I switched industry twice. each time building on the skill I had gained. Culturally, I was finally getting it. I laughed at the office and even started enjoying stand-up comedy, a far cry from the early days when jokes flew right over my head. For the first time, I felt like I was running on solid ground. The challenges didn't disappear, but they transformed into opportunities to push myself further. This was the tipping point. Like a good investment portfolio, years of effort started paying off. What once seemed impossible now seemed inevitable. Year 20, running freely. At my latest corporate gig, I led meetings, presented to executives, and earned a salary that grew more in the past 5 years than in all the years before combined. Yet, I didn't stop there. I kept investing in myself through learning, mentoring, and taking on new challenges. And here's the kicker. Earlier this year, I made a bold move. I left my comfortable corporate job to pursue a new adventure. Why? Because growth doesn't stop when you achieve a goal. It's a lifelong process of reinvesting, compounding, and setting your sights on the next horizon. The American dream wasn't a finish line. It was the launching pad for even bigger dreams. After years of practice, I've learned this. No matter how hard something might seem, I can accomplish whatever I set my heart and mind to. Top 3 lessons from a 20-year investment. First, growth is like running through mud. At first, progress feels painfully slow, but every step you take makes the next one easier. Eventually, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. Second, success is like melting ice. The results aren't immediate, but the effort builds momentum. Keep raising the temperature because one day the ice will melt. Third, small investments pay big dividends. Whether in life, career, or finance, small, consistent efforts lead to exponential returns. It might take years to see the payoff, but when it comes, it's worth every step in the mud. What does 20 years of investment get you? For me, it brought a life I once only dreamed of. Along the way, I built incredible friendships, formed valuable networks, and shared the journey with like-minded people. But the greatest reward wasn't the destination. It was the growth, the lessons, and the person I became in the process. So, if you are chasing a dream and feel like you are falling short, remember, progress takes time. Keep investing in yourself. Keep pushing forward. Because one day, the mud will clear, the ice will melt, and you will find yourself running freely toward a future you build one step at a time. For me, it took 20 years. How long will you keep going? If you like this show, like and subscribe. Until next time.